well, yeah, it's after 5 o'clock. So for me, I always say good evening after 5 o'clock. So good evening, everyone, or good afternoon if you're anywhere other than the East Coast that's in the US right now. How are you guys doing this evening? I am Shakia, the professor of SILAHOLICS Anonymous and the product line. I did it right this time. Honestly speaking. And on our website, shop.silaholics.com, we sell sublimation ink, sublimation paper, and a whole lot more that we will talk about shortly. I do live videos, tutorials, teachings, have an academy, all in an effort to originally it was to teach you guys how to use Silhouette Studio, which is the program that controls the Cameo machine, but it can be used as a standalone graphic designing program. So my goal was always to teach people how to use it to create amazing designs without having to get a more expensive or more confusing program. But over the years, this has grown into where I teach people just about business, about crafting, about different things, sublimation, T-shirts, adhesive vinyl, paper crafting, all sorts of things take place here on our channel, honestly speaking. And I also share this, even though it's Silaholics numbers. It seems kind of weird because that's my channel. On Facebook, I've always done everything. And whenever it's honestly speaking, I try and keep that to like our product line stuff. As far as like on that particular Facebook page, but my Silaholics Anonymous on Facebook page has always been kind of like an open mishmash of things, but our YouTube is separated. So we do have two YouTube channels, Silaholics Anonymous, which focuses on Silhouette Studio and the Silhouette family of machines. And then honestly speaking is for everything else where I can speak open, honestly, pretty much about anything. So I normally do these like Q&A type styles where you guys can ask me questions and pick my brain. I think I'm pretty knowledgeable on a few things. So you guys get to pick my brain on, a few things. And on this one, my heat press has been on and I haven't pressed anything since this morning. So you guys will also get to choose, like, as long as it's not like trying to make me do an all over shirt, because I'm not printing that out, I'm not taping that together. There's a few like blanks in here, something that can be pressed, not like a tumbler or anything, because you can ask questions about tumblers, but can't press a tumbler on a heat press. So I do want to press something before this night is over with, because it's been on all day long. Don't tell even. And I've only pressed like one thing on it. So I definitely need to put something under that heat press and press something. I just don't know what. Like, I don't really have anything. I had all that stuff yesterday, so I don't know what to put on the heat press. So if you guys can give me some suggestion on what we should press today, that would be, amazing. I only have until 6:20-ish. I have a class tonight with my I was about to say doctorate, but it's bachelor students. Today we're going over modify tools and just kind of breaking that down a little bit further and really it's a review and then like, Q&A for modify tools. And I just might be back right after. I got some glow in the dark heat transfer vinyl because you guys probably saw my video and I did the one with the Cedar Easy Weed. It just doesn't work well. Well, I was in a Facebook group and someone posted a picture and she said that it was on glow in the dark, but it wasn't Cedar. It was a different brand. So I went on Amazon and I purchased about 5, 6, maybe 7 different types of glow in the dark heat transfer vinyl. And I'm going to test them out once the sun goes down so that you can actually see it glow. So I can't wait to do that. It'll be, if I can't get it in tonight, it'll probably be on Friday because tomorrow I'll be doing a mock competition. So, and judging that for cheer. But hello. How are you guys doing? I see quite a few guys are in the chat already. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? That's one of our Academy students at Beverly. How are you? Monica, Crystal Davis, and then another Crystal. How are you? Crystal Brooks Howard. How are you? Miss Wood, Miss Mary Brown, Danny. And then there's another Wood and Miss Sonia Kim. How are you doing as well? Miss Rodriguez, how art thou? All right, so we're just going to get right into this. You guys can start posting your questions or if you have any suggestions on what I should put underneath this heat press, let me know. I'm trying to remember what all is in here. But this is all sublimation talk. So whatever questions you guys have in regards to sublimation, feel free to go ahead and post those questions now. Like I said, we will be on until there are no questions, like they die down, or until around like 6:20, whichever comes first. All right. Hello, Rebecca. How art thou? Okay, sorry, I had to go check something. And I almost forgot. This live broadcast is brought to you by, which I said it before. I'm like, I went into the spiel, but it's brought to you by the letters HSINK and the numbers 3, 6, and 5, which represents our product line, or at least well, more so our sublimation paper. Our sublimation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees and as fast as 30 seconds. Yes, you heard me right. As fast as 300, as low as 365 degrees and as fast as 30 seconds. Most heat presses, even with an easy press, I've been able to do 30, 40 seconds and still have my easy press set at 365. So check out our website, shop.silaholics.com, for all of the honestly speaking products. It honestly speaks for itself. I heard the glow-in-the-dark vinyl of heat transfer source is good for subbing, but I haven't tested yet. So yeah, I've got a bunch of it from Amazon just to kind of test and see. Everything is great, my dear. How are you doing? Hello, precious love. How are you? Yeah, 2 of them are here, but the other ones are just like sheets. So these are pretty big rolls. And then one is like it has a blue glow to it. Like that part, I was really excited to see how that blue glow is going to come out. And then this one is just a regular green. And I actually really want to test it tonight because I want to wear them to the mock competition tomorrow, because it'll eventually be dark by the time I leave there. So I do kind of want to wear these tomorrow. So I'm going to test and see which one works, because I do want to make a shirt for tomorrow when I go judge this mock competition. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold y'all. So if there are no questions, we will get off of here. This is, Wednesdays is normally my day where I do like a bunch of lives. Today I end up doing the design bundles. I normally get up at 9:00 in the morning and do a live Q&A. But if you were on, I was up till hold on one second. Hey, Chrissy. MJ has already taken his shirt off because this is where he lived, but my niece is here. So you guys get to see her in her all over-ish shirt. Come here, Chrissy. Sorry, I'm muted. Okay, you want them to see you too? Mm-hmm. Okay, say hi. Hi. Okay, you can sit around, Chrissy. Hold on. Come on this side, buddy. All right. So they just wanted to see your shirt because Auntie made that on live last night. Okay. Thank you. You are a beautiful model. Okay. Here you go. Go ahead, buddy. Go with Chrissy. Take him with you and close the door. Love you, bud. Oh, he closed the door himself. Oh, Chrissy, there's mommy. Outside. I found my whole train of thought because my lovely children came in here. So I've lost my whole train of thought. Oh yeah, that was my old. So I didn't have to really think about like a template or anything like that for those shirts. I just took I created the distress because that was just a regular solid camo. I have I just taught about distress edges in our design class last week. So I went to that particular class, pull, the distress box from that one, cropped my background down to that, and then saved it as a PNG because if it's just like that, like my class knows, like I talked to them about how that can bog down the system because it's like a lot of little pieces. And then I took that and I just put it on sheets of paper, different parts of it. So I didn't create a template or anything for that one. I just laid it down like anywhere on the shirt is how I did that one. I was able to do both my son and my niece's shirts with 2, 4, 6, 8 sheets of paper, front and back, to give it kind of like that full look. So 8 sheets of paper, and I was able to do 2 shirts front and back. So that's that. I have a customer who wanted an all over t-shirt. I watched your video, very helpful, but pressing on a 15 by 15 could not master it. How big was the shirt? Because you are limited. If your shirt is like a 2x, 3x, you're not going to be able to do it with a 15 by 15. You only have, it's technically supposed to be like 30 inches, but you have to think about overlap. So you really only have 29 inches. So if your shirt is longer, it can be wider, but like if it can't, like if you flip it, if it can't get into like within that 29 inches range, you won't be able to do that size of shirt, unfortunately, with a 15 by 15. But you get yourself an easy press. You can easily do it with an easy press. I've done them with that before. Okay, sorry about that. He normally cries whenever she leaves anything. Thank you. Hello, Patrice. How are you? Thank you. I'm in need of a new gaming tablet or laptop. So I would recommend a laptop, a tablet. I don't really know of like a gaming tablet. Most programs, you're not going like decent programs. Like even for Photoshop, there's an app, but you can't do the same things that you can do like you can with a computer. So it needs to be an operating system like Windows or or Apple. So it has to be one of those. A tablet, unless it's like a computer that basically becomes a tablet as well, like it can kind of be both. As long as it has an operating system on it, you should be able to use it. But you definitely want to make sure that whatever you get has great, decent to great memory and a great to outstanding graphics card. Oh, it was just a medium? Well, what happened with it? Big boy, how are you, sir? Ooh, really? Ooh, Big boy sent me a super chat. Oh, snap. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Ooh, thank you. If you guys don't know Big Boy from Big Boy Prints, everyone always asks me about DTF. So I know about it. I am the researcher. So I research pretty much everything. The moment I got from my ink vendor, we hadn't even gotten our pigment ink and sublimation ink yet. And he was trying to get me to get in, I guess you can say, like on the ground floor of DTF. And oh, it's going to be really big in the States. It's starting to trend. Da, da, da. You can be one of the first ones to sell it. And I'm like, look, if I don't do it, or I can't educate people on it, honestly, and like, I can test and all that, I don't want to sell it. Like, that's just not an area that I'm in right now. Like, I'm still embracing this whole sublimation thing because 3 years ago, almost, I was like, I'm not doing no sub. I talked about it, gave people all the information in the world. I'm like, I'm not doing sub. And then all of a sudden, guess what? We have a whole company based around sublimation because I just became one of the go-tos and like just very knowledgeable in research and providing information for sublimation. But people ask me all the time about DTF. Shakira, you're going to do that? And I'm like, look, y'all see me struggle with this room? There is no room for another. Oh my gosh, my head is itchy. There is no room for another printer in here. And I really want a white toner because there are certain things that I can do with the white toner that I have a regular toner print. I've done prints with it. So I have no real desire to do DTF at this juncture. And I did want a direct to garment, and DTF means direct to film. Kind of like direct to garment, but you print it to a film and put an adhesive powder on it. So I have no desire to do it. But Big Boy, he has videos on it, and he has ink and the powder that you will need and the sheets and stuff that you would need. So go check out his group and his channel. When y'all keep asking me about DTF, I can only give you the basics of my research that I do so that I stay abreast to the different trends and different ways to decorate garments or to be able to put it on hard substrates. I know the best uni tested, like putting it on a tumbler and stuff. I know like with white toners, they have hard surface papers and you can put them on there. And I know a few people have done some testing with it on hard surfaces, but I've never actually done them. I probably should order some transfers. I know the Baby's Booty sells, I think she sells transfers. I don't know if Big Boy sells transfers. Probably should like order some just to kind of press it like I did with my screen print transfers. Screen print transfers I know about. DTF transfers, not so much. So I'm not the person. Go seek out that group and go holler at him about full on knowledgeable hands-on information about that. We have an estimated date, but of course, I'm not saying that because we never know what happens. We thought it would be here by now, so I cannot give you an exact date. Once it reaches the ports of Miami, and I know that it's secure here, then I'll be able to give a date. But hopefully by the end of the year. What is a printer for pigment ink for offices that prints of my 17? I have to get one for the apartments. Well, she says the management company is trying to get HP instead of Epson. HP only has one printer that prints like that's wide format. Theirs is, so wait, Epson was 7710, 7720. I want to say that theirs was like 7720, 7740 or something like that. I can always go and easily look that up. HP 7720 is, I believe, their wide for. I want to say that's the one that it is. Yes. So HP Officejet 7720 is a wide format printer. I always thought, and I remember that one because I was like, that's kind of shady that they know when people search for a 7720, they're really looking for Epson. I thought that was quite shady of HP, but hey, that's not my company. So they have that one. You do have to constantly buy the cartridges. That particular printer does not have ink on the Instant Ink program for that particular printer. So that's one where you're going to have to constantly buy cartridges, which can get pretty expensive. So I would recommend, trying to get them to get an Epson 7820 or 7840 if they want fax and a copier machine with it. And then, of course, ordering refillables if they want to kind of deal with that. If not, they can always still buy the cartridges because no matter what, with both of those, they're going to require cartridges. If they don't want to deal with that at all, then The next wide format printer for like EcoTank would be the 7750 if they still manufacture it. So that one is up to 11 inches wide. Then you have the 80, and I don't know how much money they're wanting to spend either. That's a big factor in how much money they're wanting to spend. Then you have the 8550, which retails for $600, $700, $699, $700. And then you have the big boy, $1,000 or $1,124, which is the 16600 and the 16650. So those are your wide format options for an Epson printer. I can't speak for any of the other brands. I used to have a wide format Brother and a wide format Canon. Have not used them in like years. My Canon I had when I was in the military. I've been in the military and God knows how long. So I don't really keep up with their printers like that. Oh, I got a super chat and I'm gonna get some DTF transfers. Oh snap. Yeah, because Sin got a big boy shirt. I think Patrice might have one too. I know Bessie Union has one. Let me find out. Like the baby booty and all of them got a big boy shirt, and the professor didn't get a big boy shirt. It's kind of she said she was looking for them also. She says, I have a few designs I'm needing made. Oh, see? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Knew you like the librarians do you when you're making too much noise in the library, and then give you that shady push-up. We have cartridges for the 7820, 7840, and the 7310, which are the newer ones. Now, if your complex can find a 7710, 7720, 7210, which is the older model, they still work. They just don't work on 5G internet. Then you can definitely use those also, and we do carry the cartridges for that. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I ain't even gonna say nothing. All right. I see your question. Give me 1 second. I'm going to come back because that's a loaded question. So give me 1 second to come back to that one. Kind of knock out some of these easier questions first. I have the 7710. The person I got it from tried to change it to Sublimation Printer. He was unsuccessful. He said he cleaned it out. He got the black to work with pigment ink, 2 parts. What do you mean 2 parts? I mean, if the heads are just gone, like if it has been printed in a really, really long time, you can get it back going, but it's going to take some work to get it going. So what you will do, if it's a printer that has set for a really long time, if it was working as a pigment ink printer, there was no reason why it shouldn't work as a Sublimation ink printer, because all you're doing is just switching out the ink. So if it was working for one, it should work for the other. Now, if it just wasn't working at all and none of the inks were coming out, the print heads are probably severely dried out and or clogged. So you would have to go to our website, order a set of empty cartridges, watch my video on creating cleaning cartridges, which is just distilled water and alcohol and a few drops of dish liquid. And you're going to put those in there and first start off by trying to push the fluids through. Then print a bunch of purge files. Like it's just going to be printing basically that solution. And you're basically trying to get those print heads reactivated. So you're trying to clear any air that's in there, clear any clog, any dried up ink. So you just have to go through that cycle quite a bit to get those print heads where they like the pads are absorbing the ink and it can output. So if it is a matter of severely dry or clogged print heads, they're, you can definitely bring them back to life, but it's going to take you a little bit of work. So now it just sits. I don't know if I should start with pigment ink or just automatically switch to sublimation ink. I never recommend that you go straight to sublimation ink. It's starting with pigment ink is not what will make your printer not be able to print or things like that. What will cause it to not print is you not setting those cartridges up correctly. But I always recommend that you start with pigment ink. Like start with not say pigment ink, but start with the cartridges that come with the printer. Always start with your Epson cartridges. Eco tanks are different. You don't use the Epson ink. You go straight to sublimation ink. But for workforce printers, anything with a cartridge, always start with the Epson cartridges. It's no matter what, as long as you have set them up properly, you have watched the proper videos that show you how to properly set them up, one print head cleaning. It has never failed. Even in my very, 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 very first time, if well, I don't think I have access to that video anymore. But my very, very, very first time and second time converting a printer, it was one print head cleaning, and that is it. That's all. So it doesn't take a lot. Like, kind of watch them. Oh, you have to do 30,000 print head cleanings and you got to keep doing it. You're supposed to get broken lines. You're not supposed to get broken lines because all you're doing is just switching out cartridges. So you should never experience broken lines when transferring over to transferring your ink from the Epson pigment ink to sublimation ink. All right. So let's go back up to this question. What advice would you give someone leaving a job to sub full time? That's, oh my gosh. Give me 1 second, y'all, because he's about to bust in the room. Okay, sorry about that. The little one came in here crying, which we're trying to get him out now. Well, you have to be quiet if you're going to stay in here with mommy, okay? Okay. Okay. So, sorry. Let me get back. This is the joy of being a mom and working at home with young children. Obviously, he didn't like whatever his daddy told him because he came in here crying to me and tattling on his dad because he said something about daddy. Don't know what he's tattling on, but he's saying something. He ain't like something that he did or probably told him he couldn't have something. So, all right, he's going to leave me now. Goodbye. Okay, maybe not. He came back in. But anywho, that's a loaded question because if it's just like, are you actively selling now? Like, or do you have a consistent flow of orders and customers? If you don't have that, I mean, and you have a job that like it's your bread and butter, it's one thing to step out on faith, but we also have to be smart about it, especially if we have responsibilities. Not everyone has this super success story of I walked off of my job and now I'm making, 6 figures, 7 figures, heck, even 5 figures. It can take a minute, especially if it's something like, making custom items, hand making, different things, because you can even have like your own clothing line, but it's still where you're doing the majority of the production for it, and you're whether it's through screen print transfers or you're starting with vinyl, even if you buy your own screen print presses and you're doing it, it's a lot to kind of get going, and you still have responsibility. So if you don't have a savings that's going to kind of carry you in your personal bills and stuff like that, as you're building your clientele and building your email list and getting yourself out there, my recommendation would be to tough through it and kind of stick to that job if you are able to. But now if you're in a position to where, okay, hey, that job is not available for you anymore, I need to take what I do and take my passion and try, and make it work for me and make it a full-fledged business. Hold on one second. Yeah. I'm sorry. If that bothers y'all, I'm so sorry. Like, he is not going to leave out of here. So I'm trying to concentrate through it as well. And he's kind of driving me nuts. So I guess be driving y'all nuts. Zanimani, bud, can you? Okay. If you're going to stay in here, you have to be quiet. Okay, buddy? What happened? Okay. He's trying to fix something. But if this is like what you're wanting to do, you're going to have to, as much work as you put into actually creating and subbing and like trying to figure out designs, all that, it's trying to get that clientele if you don't have it. A lot of people don't like to hear this, because as a creative, you want to make all the things. You want to get all of the files. You want to design all of the files. You want to give everyone a customized file. If you're starting out and you're trying to build, you're going to take away so much of your creative time where you are actively working on orders or just kind of mass producing things to sell, trying to, get this file, buy that file, design this one, and spend so much time designing. So if you want to kind of get into this, not saying that you have to be one note the entire time, but if it's truly a startup for you, my recommendation would be to kind of stick to one thing and master that, and like find a niche. You don't have to stay niche down. But if you're starting, like, find something that you can hone in on. I even gave the suggestion this morning. Do you have any realtor friends? Or contact some, that's probably the only thing you do. Like, I supply custom items for welcome home or new home order baskets for 50 different realtors in my area. And like, you don't have to think about clientele. You're providing, and it could be the same items. You can have the same image and you're sublimating, and all you're doing is changing out the name to say Joan, welcome home Jones family, a house and their name. It can look like a mailbox. Maybe you're going to have something where they put their name like on a mailbox, or maybe it's, you have a standard where they got a new home, just so it's new. They're changing out their mailbox numbers because, hey, you have vinyl and you can do that, and have that in a package where it's a mailbox number. You might want to just go and get like wood placards. You can get them from the Dollar Tree, get them from Walmart, but you want to make it look good. And it's going to be vinyl numbers on there. You can epoxy, do whatever. And like, this is a placard that has their address on it, in their home. There's so many ways that you can like tap into things like that happen every single day. But if all you do is kind of stay in these groups where people really don't share, these are things that I share in my doctorate program. We talk about creative business, and I'm making them think outside of the box on who they target, different industries to tap into. Like, that's the thing that drives me, is to really help. And it's not just about teaching Silhouette Studio or just showing you how to press something and just talking about like the legal side of it. How do you really tap into these markets? How do you learn to niche down? For me, for the longest time, I was able to be completely creative, but my target audience was parents, like football parents, cheer parents, track parents, for youth and recreational sports, because my kid was in it. So just me rocking my shirts. Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get this from? Just now, the kids went to school. I take advantage of the fact that I have kids in school, and I send them to school in some really dope stuff that I've made and make masks to where, mommy, you gonna have to. MJ came home. He said, mommy, you're going to have to make a whole lot more of these masks because everybody was asking about them. And my friend wants this and whatever. And then he says, ask your mom if you can make me one. No lie. What comes out of his mouth is, I'm about to start charging them. Who said your mama was making it for free to begin with? There was always going to be a charge, but it's the fact that my 10-year-old had this hustler mentality of, yeah, they want it. Oh, I'm about to go and give them a price. I'm about to charge them. So even my son knows, like, okay, yeah, I got the goods. You want them? It's going to cost you. And you have to, from the mouth of babes, for him to be fearless and know, okay, you want my mama good. You want this custom stuff. It's gonna cost you. Even when I made the his 5,000 role models, he has a bunch of friends and stuff that are in there, and he's like, "Mommy, they want to know how much is the mask. Well, how can they get once they can tell their parents?" I end up getting the entire Spirit order, like supplying the entire school for their Spirit shirts, just by them seeing, what I'm able to do. So you have resources around you every single day that you can tap into. You can niche down, but still be creative. So find one zone, maybe not try and do everything as far as like business wise and selling it. Work on your craft and perfect it. And I think that's the best advice I can give to someone who wants to get into this full time. Hopefully that served you well. Oh, okay. They say it's cool, mom life. Orders, but not consistent. So yeah, if it's not ways to get consistent orders is sometimes you got to give some stuff away for people to know what you are capable of. The shirt that I made for, well, I make literally everything for her. And it kind of started out as, I'm trying to remember how did it get to a point to where the person I made the shirt for, when I tell you almost every key moment, like her children's birthdays, their graduations, her birthdays, their Christmas shirts, like I've literally done pretty much it all. Right now, I'm designing some shirts for her because her daughter's all-star season starts soon. And she's like, I mean, they gave us some shirts, but those shirts was not, they weren't giving what they were supposed to give. So she's asked me already to design her a couple shirts for competition season for her daughter. So I've done that. When the rest of the cheer team was going to other people to get their names put on stuff, she was like, okay, y'all go whoever y'all want to go to. I'm going to Kia where I know it's going to be custom. It's going to be right. It's going, so you'll eventually have, even those relations, like, if you're worried about like if you do like just start to do one thing, you're like niche down. When you go and you show that you can do customs, I don't advertise a lot, but it's certain people, they know what I do. And even when I tell them I no longer do customs and stuff like that, I'm teaching now. I have a product line that I have to nurture and build that up. They look at me like, we don't care. Okay, yeah, but I need this by such and such. Okay, Kia, take whatever, do whatever you need. I'm not gonna bother you. Do what you do. Like my customers, they do not they don't care how, they already know that if I design it, it's gonna be bomb. They don't question me on prices. They don't question me on designs. Like I was so very grateful to get to that point to where I can just be the creator. I can just be me. Okay, if you're gonna play with this, you definitely have to get out of my office because that makes too much noise. Go in the living room with that, please, sir. Thank you. Look, you got stuff all on your face. I agree. That's the advice I gave. Wait, that's the advice I give after 8 years and tried everything. He refused to move out. So I just pushed him out of the office and closed the door. Okay, so let's see. That right there, giveaway, it helps for real. The real folks who respect and support you will start to pay and spread the word. Yes. And it doesn't hurt to give it to people who they're gonna, they're gonna wear it. There's somebody, if they're a social butterfly on, and they're kind of always posting stuff. Those are the best people. Now, if you know somebody like they're an introvert, they're not gonna talk about your stuff, maybe not give them no free stuff, but yeah. Someone wants his and her aprons. Should I use HTV or sub to make them? Both are great options. Depends on the look. Like that shirt that I made yesterday. It wasn't a lot of reading, but so many people like, oh, I'm so in love with sub. I'm never going back to vinyl. Well, the look of that shirt could never be accomplished via sublimation. I mean, the way that vinyl looks, that could never be accomplished via sub. And then, of course, on a black shirt. Even if it was on a white shirt, you're just not going to get that feel of that vinyl. Certain things like metallics just pop when it comes to vinyl. So I still very much so love heat transfer vinyl. It depends on what they want. Are they wanting something that's shiny? Are they wanting glitter? Are they wanting texture? If it's just something that's just flat, and it's just a name and nothing, no real pop, like all a solid color, then you definitely go with sub if it is a polyester apron. That's what you have to also think about as well, because with sublimation, it has to be to polyester. The higher the polyester count, the better it's going to look. So that will be your determining factor. Do they want white? Do they want a full color? If they want a full color, are you willing to sublimate the entire apron to make it look like its color? Or do you want to purchase one that's already colored, and then now you have to consider your options as far as vinyl or printed vinyl that you're going to sub to, or heat transfer, printable transfers and things like that. So it really there's a lot of factors. That's the crazy thing with this. Like, there's no one way of doing it. And then, you're just saying, okay, HTV or sub. And then someone else is going to come and say, all right, well, hell, we can do that direct to film. We can do that direct to garment. You can do that with the white toner printer. Hey, you can make your own screen print transfers. If you're going to do a whole lot of shirts that just say bride and groom, his and her, Mr. and Miss, maybe you want to make yourself your own screen print. Screen with that on there, because you're always using it. Put your ink on there, shoop, do it a couple times, heat set it, put it under your heat press, because you're always using that. So there's so many different ways to do all the things that we do creatively. Can you help me? My pinks don't come out right, even using color code charts. You can't be using a color code chart and it not come out right, because that's the whole purpose of the color code chart. You already know exactly what color it is. So if you're using a color chart that you have not printed and pressed, then you're not using it the correct way. When you're using a color chart, the goal, like, hold on, let me see, where is mine? I'm still, stuff is still kind of not in its right place. I know I have a color chart here somewhere because I was just looking at it. Oh gosh, where are you? I know I have the tumbler one up there, but I wanted the one that's fabric. I just had this thing. What did I do with that color chart? Okay, hold on one second. What did I do with the color chart? Yeah, that's how I know that this has been on too long, because it went to. All right, well, this isn't the one that I wanted, because this is not the one that is pressed. But I'll show these as like the fact that I have color charts printed and everything. Where the heck are my soft color charts? These are all my regular printed ones. Where is my sub color chart? All right, well, let me just grab. Oh, here they are. The whole box of them. Poly content. What is the, so is it not a high poly count material that you're pressing to? All right. So yeah, when it comes to this is white. So if it's white, now if you're now not pressing it to something white, you need to get colored felt and pressure color charts to that to be able to find the right color. But there is no mistaking this. So once you print and press your color charts, you're going to say, this is the color that I want. You already know exactly how it's going to come out. So you would put that color code into your design. There, like when you're using a color chart, there is no, as long as you're printing it from the exact same printer, the exact same settings that you press onto your fabric, your tumbler, there should be no mistaking of the output of the color. Yeah. So I'm not sure why, but if you've done this and you're looking at it and saying, I want this color, there should be no mistaking of it, unless it's now a different printer or if it's different inks. Unless something else has changed from when you made your color chart, it should be what you see here is what the output should be. If you're going to do a black apron, then you cannot do sublimation directly to it. You would have to sub to basically vinyl anyway. So you're going to have to cut and weed all that anyway. So if that's the case, you might as well, unless it's like a design where it needs to be a full color. If it's just solid colors, just go with vinyl. Sub paper can make a difference because I've subbed a bunch of different stuff and I've seen a slight difference in certain, like the way like it releases and stuff like that. So it can play a very small part, but it should not be a very significant difference. That shouldn't make a significant difference. If it's like solely off, my suggestion would be to take go now, just redo another set of color charts and maybe type in and put it in black that this is a color chart and put the new date so that you know the difference between the two. But if your colors are that off, it might be something has changed. So it might be time to reprint another set of color charts and press them to fabric. Earlier, you mentioned that pot holders would be good for real estate. My daughter just became a realtor. I would love to do something like that for her. How would, and I'm guessing there's more to this question. And I think I have the red ones. Most people use vinyl for those, but they do have some that are like a tan color. And I have one in here somewhere. And I can press something to that real quick. I've been dying to press something to it. Press something today. So let me figure out where I put that at because I'm still in the midst of cleaning up and stuff and rearranging stuff. So let's see. What can we put on that and where did it go? Un momento. I just had it because it's a set. It's 2 of them from the Dollar Tree. I just had those pot holders. I thought maybe I took it to our inventory wall, but I got these from Johnson. No, who did I get these from? I don't think I got these from Johnson's. These either came from SublimationBlanksandMore.net, TTB Designs, or Johnson's. I don't remember where I got these from, to be honest. But this is an oven mitten. Oh, why am I holding it at my mic? This is an oven mitt and a pot holder. But you can sub onto the Dollar Tree ones too. That's what I'm looking for. I know I just had that Dollar Tree one. Oh, haha. So these came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to press a design to them right now. All right. Let's see. Oh, I know what I can put on there. I got the set, like it's a set from gosh, why can't I think of their names right now? Design bundles from last month. It is the designbundles.net files, Christian Sublimation Designs, and for me in my house, we will serve the Lord. All right, so we're going to put that one on here. All right, so we're going to open that in Silhouette Studio. So let me pull, hold on. We're going to do a little switcheroo over here. No, I've done the oven mitten. I've done those. We have one. It's kind of burnt up right now, but the same ones, the ones that come that look like this, they are polyester. They are polyester because I've subbed to them. I had a whole video with them, had to delete it. You know, some other, some certain things happen with products using that one, so I had to delete it, but you can sub to them. I had a whole week of submitting to different Dollar Tree items. All right, so okay, no, this is already backwards. So we're going to put this here. We're going to put Silhouette over here. And all right, let's go ahead over here. So this is Silhouette. I'm going to take this, drag it and drop it over here. Just to kind of just show, I'm just going to put, I have this, I just want to use this one. So I'm just going to go copy and then bring this over here and paste. All right, I'm going to take my ruler here. And I'm not even going to create like a major template for this or anything. I'm just going to look and see what this size is. So All right, test, 1, 2. There we go. I don't know why StreamYard kept dropping the audio. I saw it. I saw it that it went out because I got the I saw the notification. The one thing I can say with this setup now, I can see when it gives a notification that my audio went out. All right, so I'm going to take this and go 6.25, 6.25. And I'm going to take this design here and shrink it down to fit within this box. All right, so there's that. I'm even going to go and I'm going to send this to the back. I'm going to make a duplicate of this. I'm going to do, I'm not even worried about an offset. I'm just going to make this, let's see, the whole thing is 7. So I'm going to just make the whole thing 7 1/4. And that is what I'm going to put this. I'm trying to figure out which part of this design do I want. I think I want a little bit more of it. So we're just going to shrink this down, smaller honeycombs. Want a little bit of everything in there, kind of like that green right there. So maybe I'll probably shrink it down a little bit more, get a lot of the colors in there, select it, and then I'm going to modify and crop. So I'm going to just put that on. It doesn't kind of sort of match, but not really. Just going to throw that on the back. And I'm going to go and put P. Let me see. No, well, I guess that was from before. The sound isn't out now because I can see it moving up and down. Okay, if I just happen to look over and see someone's comment just pop up and say sound is out. That was from before. You're a little bit behind because we saw that and we corrected that. Let's see. Seriously? Seriously. All right. Well, while that's open back up, let's see. I'll answer any other questions that are here. Your Dollar Tree doesn't have the polyester ones. Okay. My Dollar Trees are bootleg. They don't tend to have the popular craft stuff. Hey, AJ. All right, let's see if any of it's saved or I have to redo all of it. Okay, so it's saved none of it. So I didn't get to the auto save portion for that. So we're just going to re-pull this in and remake our boxes because it did auto recovery, but there was nothing in that file. So we're just going to make another box, hold down shift, make our box, and 6.25, 6.25. I'm going to make another box, and we're going to make that one 7.25, enter. We're going to make a duplicate of this one. And if I wanted to really see this as the true size, I could, but I'm not worried about, this is all transparent. So sometimes like you can't go and make something the exact size. Like this particular image has a lot of dead space, like a lot of negative space above it, to the sides, not so much to the bottom. And like on this side, there's not a lot of negative space. It comes right up to it. But all around here, here, and here, there's a lot of negative space. So if I were to make this be right at 6.25 with all that negative space, it's fairly small in the middle. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And now make it smaller. So I'm using that box as my guide for how big to make this, and not the size on like that's displayed here, because there's a lot of negative space. You would have to trace and detach that to get the true space, or have version 4.4 where it's going to automatically trace down a PNG. All right, but I'm okay with that the way that it is. We're just going to go ahead and group that together so that it stays together. I'm going to pull back in the this honeycomb, and let's shrink this down. Guys, don't forget to share this video out. Oh, it's 6:18. I don't have much time left. So I want to definitely get this printed out and pressed, because I do have a session at 6:30. So we're going to go over here and crop this down. And then we're going to go PERICLES FAM. Right. So actually, let's even go like this and go, since like say we're like for a housewarming and they just purchased a house, let's go welcome home. Oops. Welcome home. And then Pericles family. Let's go ahead and add some color to that. Let's change this font. Okay, and let's see. Come on, Silhouette, what are you doing? Oh, come on. And I have class tonight. Don't act crazy, because I got class in all of 10 minutes, Silhouette. Please. All right. I've been dying. Is that the one I wanted to use? No, definitely not that one. That's not the one I wanted. Let me see something. I can rock with that. And then this one, let's find. Oh, I like the way that looks more so than the Pericles part. All right, but in my mind, I saw this being a script font. With that thick of a font, this should definitely be a bit thinner. That P is going to drive me nuts. All right, let me see something real quick. This, I don't know why I do this to myself. I want to design on the fly, but I can't just throw something together. My mind is always still in design mode. So it makes it so hard for me just to kind of just go and just do. Because my mind is always in design mode. Like, I never put down the designer hat. So even when it's just something that is not a real project, I can't help it. Lord, I got a whole class and I'm sitting up here playing around with this darn crazy thing. All right, so I'm just going to leave this like this. Lord Shakia, why do you do this to yourself? Yeah, it looked better when it was just shorter. So, although I like this one, I'm just going to do like the regular P. And so I don't know how to not always be in design mode. I really got to learn to just be able to just throw it together. All right. I'm not going to keep messing around with this. Let's take this, put a little offset on it. Since I'm going to print this, I'm not worried about I'm not worried about this part being cropped away, so I'm not going to worry about all of that. So we're just going to group this, place it, shrink it down. Now I kind of wish I would have put a little house on it, but I'm not going to stress out about it. Okay. So we have these, and I'm going to set my page size to, let's see, what size paper can I, let's just do 11 by 17, 11 by 17. All right. Oh, I might have to do 13 by 19. Could I do this? Okay, so here's the thing. You're probably thinking like, well, that's really small. Why take up all of that space? I want it to be where it's going to cover my entire, what's that thing called? Oven mitt, because I don't want it to leave lines of demarcation. Then I would have to like repress it. So if I can fully cover it, I normally fully cover it. So let's just go up to 13 by 19. And if you're watching now and you are a bachelor's member, I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me just a moment. I promise y'all we're going to get started in class. Just give me a moment to get this all printed out and all that kind of good jazz. Okay, so we're going to go File, Print. I'm going to go to my sub printer, preferences, my 13 by 19. All I do is presets. Just hit that bad boy. Okay, and print. So that's going to print out, and then we're going to sub it. She says it will never happen. Leave me alone, AJ. It will. Okay. She's like, it would never happen. All right. So any questions that you guys have before while this is printing out? It's going to take a little minute for that to print out. Let's see, 629. Let's see how long it takes for this bad boy to print out. That's the other joy of printing on plain paper setting, is it prints out a whole lot faster than on premium matte, where you're sitting there waiting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. It's not going to take that long, and the colors are still going to be vibrant. And this isn't even straight up white. This is a tan color, and it's still going to produce some amazing colors on here. It's not going to be as if it was on white, but it's still going to be amazing colors. So let's go ahead and just take this off so I can take off the little, what's the name there? I don't need this, so I'm going to go ahead and just rip that off because that's just going to get in the way anyway. We don't need the, what's that thing called? The tag. I'm going to cut away. Oh, it didn't have to. It pulled right out. There's a little string there. So there's here, so you can see completely clear. And then all right. So here's this side. That's printing out. 1 minute in. It's partially done. Want you to know that even though I have not been able to practice the things you teach yet, your videos have been so helpful for me. Don't make me cry on here. So don't think you're not getting through to us. God must be talking to y'all. Oh my gosh. Somebody else sent me an email in regards to that. God, to stop telling y'all my business and my prayers and my fears and my, my anxiety, what I'm always anxious about, what sends my anxiety through the roof. I just got the Workforce 7710. Should I put the cartridges it came with, or can I put the ones I got from you? Always start with the Epson cartridges. Even if you're doing pigment ink, of course, the ink that's in there is pigment ink. So always start with the Epson cartridges. If you're switching to sublimation, start with the Epson, set it up, make sure that everything is in working order, because it still only takes one print head cleaning. If you got pre-fills from us, all you have to do, that back bit plug, the one that's like that sits in this part, not the color, like, so it might be switched. Like, I think we switch it, but there's whatever color, whatever plug is back here in this one is the one that you remove. You put it in your printer, one print head cleaning, you're set, you're done, ready to go. Okay. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Dos minutos is what it took to get that. All right. So, hold on 1 second. I'm going to switch over to the other camera, but I don't even know. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure where that was positioned at. So let me fix that because I was, I added a quick release to this. So I'm going to have to fix it. All right. There. And let me adjust the lighting back there. And we're going to press these. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is check my pressure on this. Way too much. So I'm just going to turn my knob here. All right, I'm at like a 0. That's pretty good. This has some raised area, so I'm going to go up just a little bit on my pressure. So for this one, I don't even have to like put anything under here. There is, this right here, there's nothing to the edge. It's not like there's no bleed to it. So I don't have to worry about butcher paper or anything. So something like this, you know, because our paper already doesn't require butcher paper on top, I'm not going to require anything underneath it because there is no bleed to it. I just put the, I put the substrate down, put the paper on top, and press it for 30 seconds. That's it. And so this one, I guess I'll put these two together because that one it's like a weird set. But I guess I can give that one to my mother-in-law. Although these colors somewhat match. I could put that on the back and then just put the Welcome Home Pericles family on that one. All right. Look at that. AJ, do you see it? So there's that. Press to that. Now with these, like the way that they feel, beforehand, I mean, you are flattening it. It will have a different feel and texture once you, I mean, you can kind of tell that it's been pressed. But it'll still work because we've used these pot holders before. All right. So we're going to take this one all black. Put this, I'm going to put this on this side because the other one I will, because the strap is on this side. So we're just going to put that there. And I actually could have pressed both of these at the same time. Hello from Columbus, Georgia. Do you have to use laminate when submitting on woods, like dry erase paddles, or can it be done without submitting? Some different items can be subbed directly to it, but if it's not coated in poly, yes, you have to use a laminate. And the material on the inside is not like all that great also. So now, because I'm going to do the other side, I need a piece of blowout paper to catch not just the edges of this, but it also needs to catch this ink. So I have to put a piece of blowout paper on here. Oh, I could have gone bigger on this. Dang it. What size did I, wait, why did this? Oh, I cropped this to the 6 and, yeah, I cropped this to 6 1/4 instead of the one that should have been 7 1/2. So I'm not going to put it on here for this one. I'll save that for a different day because this is cropped to the wrong side. So it would be kind of like just in the middle, but then I have all this other part too, and I don't feel like taping it off. I cropped this to the wrong size. Oh wait, you guys can't even see that. But yeah, I cropped it to the wrong size. I cropped it to the 6 by 2.25 instead of the 7.25. So that one is a little bit short. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me take care of this first because I know some people are watching, some people are not. So I have 1 minute before I'm supposed to let people in for my class. All right, let's go back over here. And yeah, see, this is sitting up here. I did this to the 6.25. So I'm going to come up here, just hit I on my keyboard, select that. I hate when it does that. I'm going to go there. And file, print, and print because it's already on the setting for 13 by 19 paper. And let's go back over here so I can let my students in. And I'm going to answer these 2 questions while this is printing out. All right, so let me minimize that because my students are going to start to come in soon. Yep, they're starting to roll in now. All right, so that's printing out. And all right, so let me answer a few of these questions while that's printing out. And my students are all coming into class. So yeah, answer this one. Yes, you have to use laminate if it's not coated for poly. Sometimes you won't know, but pretty much all the paddle boards you have to would, unless you're getting it from a company that says it is for sublimation, you're going to have to either spray it with the coating or put laminate on it. Yes. I have one around here somewhere. And then I recently brought the 7210, but anything I print, it comes out green and blue. Any tips on how to fix it? So your first step in troubleshooting is always to do a nozzle check. Your nozzle check is going to tell you the state of your print heads. So if it's only printing out blue and green, it's probably because your magenta and your yellow are not outputting. So your first step should always be to go to settings, maintenance, print nozzle check, and look and see. Now, if all of the colors are showing, I'm not sure why it would be printing out that way, but most likely your magenta and your yellow are not printing. Then it's a couple different things that could be. You want to check your cartridges. There are two different styles of cartridges. They're the ones that we sell, that we recommend, and they have this little circle in the middle. All right, you see that? That has this one, not these. The vent ones, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there is or is not ink in there, because it'll fill up as you prime it. So this doesn't matter. It does not matter. That can be completely empty. This circle right here has to be full. Okay, that circle has to be full of ink. If that's not full of ink, it's not going to output properly. Watch our video on how to prime, to reprime and properly prime your cartridges. I show it if it's a brand new cartridge as well as if it is a used cartridge. The other thing is if you have your vent plug here. So if you still have a vent plug here, it's going to stop it from outputting correctly. If you're filled and primed, or if you have the style that does not have the circle, does not require it to be primed, you would then need to probably push air. You probably have a blockage in your print head. Watch my video on push air. Yes, it's a little bit annoying in the beginning. I recorded that one. My son is 3, so I recorded that almost 3 years ago. He was like 6 months old, something like that. He was bugging me. I was a nursing mom. I literally had my kid on my boob. I'm even gonna lie when I did that video. Some people find it annoying in the beginning, but I promise you it's a very helpful video. At some point here, I will redo that video, but that one is so popular and it answers all the questions. So you can watch the video on push air, and that will probably clear that line for you. So you'll push it till you see the ink come through, run a print head cleaning, and then you should be fine after that. Now, if you do all of that and it's still not printing, you probably got a bad print head. All right. So you don't have to mirror when submitting. You do. It is mirrored in my print settings. So you don't have to mirror it on the screen. It is mirrored in my print settings. All right. I'm going to go back over to here so I can do this. My students are in class. And I can reuse this. I'll measure it. I either cut this straight and print it like this, or put it back in like this and not even worry about measuring it. Just make sure that my design only comes to a 1/2 inch away. So I can reuse this. I don't throw it away. Even with this little piece here, I'll put it in my paper trimmer, make sure that it's cut nice and straight, and I can reuse this piece also. Man, why is it so dark over here now? That's so weird. It's it's so dark. Oh, I got to figure out this lighting situation. It's always so weird with this whole lighting situation. All right. I'm going to put a little bit of tape. I don't want the top part of my handle to sublimate. I should have grabbed my bigger tape, but I did not. So I'm just going to put that there, and we're going to place this like so, like that, as Tabitha Brown would say. No cover sheet required. Press that for 30 seconds. Let me let a few more students in. And set my moderators so they can do this while I'm over here. So, I mean, like I said, it's not going to come out the exact color because this is tan, not white. But you can still see the fact that it does sub. Ink is translucent. So whatever color's underneath is going to affect the final color because ink is translucent. That's why I wanted to show this whole thing on here. I mean, like with this one, I mean, you can tell, but you can't tell because it's not like a full-on design. But I wanted you guys to see this one because people always say that, oh, it's not coming out the right color. It's because you're putting it on something that's not pure white. It will still look great. These colors are not dull. It's just that the tan is affecting the final output of this color. But look at the black. This, because it's all a full print, it's going to affect it. You're not going to, you want to start with something that's white and then sub it and you'll have a full coverage. So that's how you take something that's plain white and you'll make it where it's customized and you put a design over the entire thing. But again, this is going to be affected by the fact that it started off as a tan color. What type of paper am I using? Oh, honey, nothing but the best. If you don't know about our paper, you can go to our website, shop.silaholics.com. There is no other paper, okay? This is the one and only paper that you will ever need. 365, 30 seconds, no blowout paper. Very rare that you're going to get ghosting unless like you really like unless like it moved when the press was coming down. Like the paper is phenomenal. So check out our website, shop.silaholics.com. If you follow us on social media, there are quite a few posts that have some discount codes on it, but you guys got to follow us and be engaged with the posts because there are discount codes floating all around social media. So follow us on all platforms to find those hidden codes to save on your first purchase, your second purchase, your third purchase. All the codes are like us. You can only use that code once, but if you find all of them, you know, get your little discounts and stuff. But yes, only honestly speaking paper. All right, I'm going to go to class. I feel satisfied. I got something subbed. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off. I feel good now. I got something sublimated. That thing has been on all day long and I hadn't used it. So that was just kind of like a waste of money. Money gone down the drain. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here because the students are waiting for me. We are now 9 minutes behind. Thank y'all for being patient. But thank you guys so very much for joining me. I may because I want to wear this shirt tomorrow. So I might come back after class to do to press to glow in the dark vinyl because I want to test it like tonight. I'm not going to do my design tonight, but I want to do a test print tonight and I'll probably do my design tomorrow. So that way I can print it, put it out in the sun, let it get all charged up. And then by the time the sun goes down from this mock competition I'm going to be judging tomorrow, it'll be nice and glowy. So yeah, I'm going to probably come on live and test that afterwards, just for a quick second, because I got to go watch a lot of shows, going and watching television tonight with the hubby. So let me go. I shall talk to you guys later. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be ink credible. Peace.